Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. And I'm Ken Digest, and over here it's very early in the morning. It's around 7:30 and the sun is shiny today. It's really shiny. Yes, so welcome to the channel wherever you're watching from, and feel free, if you are a new viewer, you can leave a comment and subscribe to the channel. If you're my regular viewer, I'm so grateful for the support. So today it's on a Friday, because I'm coming live from East Africa, Kenya, and some few days back we cut down some sugarcane, which we are gonna transport to the factory. The factory isn't that far away. Sorry, today this is my first sugarcane. I like chewing sugarcane in the morning because it helps with teeth a lot. Yes, so they've come, two tractors, and they are still waiting for the because we have two types of tractors. The one that takes sugarcane to the trailers, yes, so that one is the one we're waiting for, although the two are already here. So this is one of them. So it's just opposite the gate. This is our main gate to the whole compound, although we have some other gate which goes to our uncle's place. They've aligned on the road to the other end, and also there's one gate just over there. So this is the first one. The second one is around there, the yellow tractor you're seeing. Yes, so I'm so happy because the first time we cut our sugarcane, they delayed. They actually came a week later, but for the second harvest, because our first harvest happened like approximately 2 months ago. Yes, so this is our second, and they cut down the sugar like 2 days ago. So today is the third day, and actually they've come. We wanted for them to come as early as possible because we didn't want the sugarcane to just lie down there. So I'm with my dad over here. We are just trying to make this part so that the trailers don't get stuck around here. So this is where they are gonna pass. So if you look around, the road is kind of low, leaving the edges high. Like this part is so high. I don't know whether you are able to see, but it's kind of high like this. So you want to make it flat. So finally they've arrived, and they are halfway done because they still have to carry on this side. The sugarcane is these ones lying down. So the second tractor is coming. I don't know whether I'm audible enough because the tractors are really making noise, a lot of noise. So the guys at the far end, they are helping. I think they are with my dad. They are helping pick up the remaining sugarcane so that we don't left any behind. Yes, so it's we are just trying to make it fast. Because 2 tractors I think is enough for the farm. Maybe if it will remain, I think they'll bring in some, but they usually calculate the number of tractors to bring in. So our first farm, because there are two types of tractors. There's a bigger one with the 2 sections, like the one you're seeing over there. It's bigger, and we have the smaller one. So the smaller one is called a single. Then the bigger one is called a double, something like that. Yeah, so they're still continuing. I know in the next 1 hour they'll be complete. Yes, so they have to come to till this part, and we try to grow some blue gum, because blue gum always does it goes along with most crops. So when you plant it on the farm, it doesn't really destroy the plants, because it doesn't suck a lot of water compared to the blue gum. To the cypress. So these ones are blue gum. Then we have the cypress just down below over here. Most people like cypress trees, I think, because they grow very fast, and most people, they are cheap. Not that cheap, but compared to most building timber, they are the cheapest, and they're also good for building, so people prefer them, making it become very demandable. Yes, people demand it a lot in the village because they can easily purchase them. But for me, because we have blue gum and we have the cypress, maybe one day I aspire to plant how do we call these, cypress. No, these are eucalyptus. Now I was confused. These are eucalyptus trees, and these ones over here are the blue gum. Yes, so we have the eucalyptus. These are the blue gum. These are how the leaves look, and the eucalyptus is where we have planted the forest. It was a planted forest, and we started planting it in 2018. Though there are some bit of it that has been here for a longer time, since like 2 decades ago. There are some trees that have already been in the forest, so we just added a few eucalyptus around 2018, 2019, 2020. Then we left them to grow. We've been harvesting because, as I've said, people really demand them. You can use them for supports when building. You can use them as side beams. You can also use them as timber for making the rooftop. They have a lot of activities you can do with them. So for me, because we have the blue gum and the eucalyptus, I really aspire to have cypress trees, because cypress are very they grow slowly. That's I'd say that's the bad part of them, or the disadvantageous part of them. So if you grow them, you'll have to be very, very patient. But they're usually hardwood. That's why they grow slowly. Most hardwoods grow slowly, and if you want to sell, they're usually expensive, so at least you can get something out of them. So I'll just try maybe one day. I've been talking about it, but I'll try. And cypress trees are, even the seedlings are not easy to get. Few people have them. Yeah, so they are almost halfway. They started with the far end, the guys that are collecting the sugar. Maybe I should come close, so that the problem is that if I go close, there will be a lot of noise. But yeah, let's see what they are doing. And maybe whoever viewing the channel, maybe if you're out there and maybe you're stuck, because here in Africa, and I'll talk about Kenya specifically, it's always very hard to move on, not really move on with life, but to get hold of life. It's usually very hard. There are a lot of obstacles, I'd say, maybe even in terms of employment. So if you're out there and maybe you're watching, you're a young man as me, you can venture into different fields. You shouldn't look only in the employment. Maybe you can try to employ yourself. You can do a little bit of farming. Even planting trees is farming. You can plant trees. I think that's one of the best investments, because if you plant trees, there's no cost of maintenance. Your job is just to make sure they are growing and also planting a few. And in a few years, if you plant maybe 2 acres of land and you plant cypress trees, you can really have something to say or talk about of, because that's a good investment. So you shouldn't look only to the employment part. So these are some of the sugar we planted. There are always different varieties. Usually the hard one and the soft one. So this is the soft one, because if you look at it, it has busted. Each section has busted. This part, actually the whole sugar cane has busted. So these are the soft ones. And this one over here, this one is the hard one. This one is so hard. If you look at it, it hasn't really busted. So if you go to the factory, I think, and you want to plant, they'll come and test the soil and give you the type of sugarcane to plant. And even that's always occur even in maize. I see always, because my parents are farmers, and I learn a lot. Some they tell me, some I learn by observation. If you want to plant even maize, the people for agriculture always comes in, test the soil, give you some seed and the fertilizer. Yes, so in this farm we planted 2 types of sugarcane. Can't really remember the name. They have specific names, but I'll ask my dad, so that at least maybe I can, the next time I'm doing a video, I can mention it, so that whoever is interested in sugarcane farming can invest in it. So this tractor over here is almost full. So this one is the double. You see there, it has 2 sections. The back, the front, this part and this part. So just trying to pick a spot. Guys at the back, the guy they're the one trying to help pick a few sugarcane that are being left behind, because the guys that cut the sugarcane, they never put them in stacks. So when they're cutting sugar cane, they usually put them in stacks on the farm, but for them they just left them on the ground. So I think that's why the guys are trying to help put them together, so that we don't leave any behind. Yes, so this is how they left them. So So on this line until that end. So they've left them in lines, let me say rows like this on the farm. we are already done. They are over there, so that's the last trip. Yeah, it's been an very, how do I say it, engaging day since morning, because I woke up so early, around 7, was it? Yeah, it was so early. I can't really remember the time because of the many activities that I've engaged in, but yeah, they are cruising on nicely. They were afraid that they were gonna be stuck, but I'm seeing they're just going steadily. Yeah, so I'm also going back home because much of the work is done at the farm. Yeah, so they're using this part of the farm. Usually cattle graze on this side, so it's usually free. Yeah. So over this side, the sun isn't there that much. I'm really liking the weather because personally I don't usually like too much sun and also too much rain. I like it to be moderate, like the way it is now. There's a mild wind just moving across. Let me just say that. Yeah, so it's cloudy also. Maybe it's gonna rain. Maybe, but because of the season, it's gonna rain. So there was this part that we made in the morning so that they don't get stuck, and I'm seeing it's working out. There's this guy over here. Yes, because you see this part is steep. Yes, you see, so we kind of made that place so they don't get stuck, and it's really working out. So I think I'm gonna head back home and see what's next. So I'm back, and let me wipe the camera. So there's something I want to show you and maybe talk about a bit before we go on. So in front of me we have our cattle. So we have a couple of sheep and a couple of calves. Yes, so I want to talk about this sheep that we cut yesterday, the tail. So it's a lambkin. So I want just to show you one thing. So you see how it is, it's running, meaning whatever we did, you see how it's jovial. It's not lying around. It's really jovial, and we've been doing this for a couple of time I mean, because all of our lambkins, the female ones, we've been just cutting the tail, which is normal for us, maybe in some parts of the continent, because maybe advanced how do I say it, maybe advanced ways of treating cattle. So we had two options. There's one, I just want you to see, it's even sucking. It's really running around. It's healthy, I mean. It's not healed in any way. So we had two ways of cutting the tail. One was tying a string on the tail and tightening it, and with time it cuts it. So maybe let's say within a month the tail will just drop by itself, which isn't which is a way of cutting it slowly by slowly. But the problem with that is that the lambkin will endure the pain, because even for yourself, if you tie something on your hand, definitely at the end of it your hand will fall off. And we never wanted to do that, because if you tie it, after a week the lambkin will start not being jovial. It will just be sleeping most of the day, most times of the day, and not even eating, not sucking. So we never wanted to do that. Actually, we've never done it, but that's also an option. But for us, we did the normal way of just cutting the tail and hitting with the hot metal, which was not really unpleasant. Even for us, we didn't really cut it because we enjoyed it, but we cut it because it's also one of the ways of it's customary for a female lambkin to be cut. So we really had to do it. It's not that we enjoyed doing it, and I just shared it because it's one of the cultures that people still practice here in Africa, apart from for the human cultures. Like for say, in our culture, long time ago, people used to remove the 6 lower teeth. So even if we still practiced that, and maybe I wanted to share, that one would have been more brutal, because seeing your fellow human being, the teeth are being removed traditionally with maybe a few herbs. Yes, so that one would have been more brutal. But we are all just here to learn. Maybe maybe the way I posted it, maybe someone else will see it one day and maybe mention a very proper way of cutting it. But that's also a very proper way, because as you have seen, the lambkin is just jovial. It's eating, it's running around, it's sucking milk and all that. Yeah, so those are some. And also the wound is not bleeding, and that's the main thing to look for. So we always monitor it every time, just also to make sure nothing really because sheep likes to knock each other. So in case something knocks it will start bleeding. So we are just around to see that it doesn't. Yeah, so if it was disturbing, sorry for that. And any African culture, most African cultures are usually disturbing to document, but I think we have to document them, because that's the only way our coming generations will know what we used to do, or what was our custom. Because our forefathers used to spread the custom through word of mouth. So they used to tell their grandchildren through stories, even their sons and daughters through stories. But for us, we have technology here, and if we document it, it will be even proper, because if you pass message through generation, it will, in each generation, will distort the message, so it will wear out. But if you document it, it will capture the moments, the exact way of doing it, and the proper ways. Yeah, so I'm just here just to document and share a few cultures, and even past, because in Kenya we have so many cultures. Maybe one day I'll travel to other communities and also learn more about them. But for now, I'll just share some of our customaries. Yes, so I know it's been a very hectic day over here. It's so calm. I'm just hearing birds chirping. So I think in the next 1 hour it looks like it's gonna rain, which is so nice, because for me, I always like when it rains in the afternoons, because much of the work has already been done and most people are free. Yes, so with that, it's been a very awesome day just speaking to you guys. And I think I'll end my video for today. The sky is so milky. You see at the back, I'm trying to look for a specific. Yes, I think there is, it's a little bit better. Yes, so we are already done with the work at the farm, and yeah, it's we'll now see the way forward. I know my dad will go to the factory, do the paperwork, then now wait. Maybe if I get a chance, I'll go with him and see how things are being done, because I also want to learn a few things about farming. I've known farming much bit of it, but I also want to know the paperwork, the process and all that, because maybe one day I might find myself in this same position. Yeah, so with that, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're new and if you watched till this part, please subscribe. I'll be so grateful. For the returning viewers, I'm also acknowledging you guys for always coming by to support the channel, support Ken. Yeah, so take care of yourself wherever you are. Over here it's midday. Maybe some of us are gonna eat breakfast or take breakfast. So wherever you are, take care of yourself and your families, so that we can meet in my next video. Bye bye for now.